Today I wanted to talk about this disgusting man named Justin Mon, who probably now has the absolutely worst, most terrible intro in all of YouTube history, because what he did was he killed and decapitated his father and then showed off his head in the beginning of this YouTube video here called Mon's Militia, Call to Arms for American Patriots. And I'm not going to show any of the video for obvious reasons, but it's out there, it's quite easily accessible. But he starts the video off by holding up his father's head, introducing his father, saying that it's Michael Mon, a government official, also his father, and that he has betrayed his country. And then he just continues yapping on like he didn't just kill and decapitate his dad, and this is just another normal YouTube video. He continued with the insanity by calling for the death of all federal officials and attacking President Joe Biden's administration, the Black Lives Matter movement, the LGBT community, and Antifa activists. It's quite literally 14 minutes and 34 seconds of the ramblings of a lunatic. And honestly, I would recommend watching the video, not to skip past the first 10 seconds or so when he's showing off his dad's head, but I just want you need to watch the video to understand just how delusional this man is in his insanity. His beliefs and his morals and everything, judgment and all that is just so twisted. His perspective on everything is so warped, and it's just, he's been so misguided, and he's just so fucked up in the head that it's hard to believe someone like him genuinely exists. And apparently a YouTube spokesperson came out and said that the video was taken down because of its, quote, strict policies prohibiting graphic violence and violent extremism. So yeah, I mean, that's like telling you that the square goes in the square hole. It's pretty clear why the video was taken down, because of the extremism and the decapitated fucking head. And luckily, he has since been arrested, but I kind of want to just walk you through this story in chronological order, so I'm going to start whenever his dad's body got discovered by his mom around 7 p.m. last Tuesday. It said in this NBC article here that when police arrived at their home in Township, Pennsylvania, they found Michael Mon, his dad, in the downstairs bathroom, decapitated with, quote, a large amount of blood around him, according to the police complaint, along with a machete and a large knife that were found in the bathtub. And it says they also found Michael Mon's head inside of a plastic bag, like it was in the video, but it was in a cooking pot in a bedroom next to the bathroom. And that's a little picture of the house right there with the police tape around it, just in case you were curious about what the house looked like for some reason. But it says that Denise Mon, who is his mom, the mother, told police that she'd last been home around 2 p.m. and it was only her son and his father there. And that when she returned home that evening, her son was missing, along with the car that was registered and belonged to her husband. And this leads us to where Justin Mon finally got arrested about 100 miles away from the crime scene in a place called Fort Indianatown Gap, which is a pretty stupid name. And a quote from the police here, they say, "We didn't know where he was going and what his intentions were when he left here. Fortunately, we were able to get a location based on his cell phone," which is when they pinged him being near Indianatown Gap National Cemetery, which is just outside a National Guard base, and that's how they were able to track him down and arrest him. And they say they arrested him without incident around 9:25 p.m. But he was armed and presumably considered dangerous since he just decapitated his dad, but it says no one was injured when he was on the base because he also broke into this National Guard base while they were looking for him. So there's no explanation as to what he was up to, what his plans were after he fled the crime scene and was 100 miles away in this National Guard base. There's really no explanation. You can't understand the method behind his madness. There probably wasn't a good explanation for it. But they also said that the police had a couple prior contacts with this dude, some as far back as 10 years ago, and also some that were more recent. They don't really go into depth of what they were for, but it says there was also no attorney listed for him in court records. And then the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Philadelphia District, who worked with his dad, said they were, quote, deeply saddened to learn of the tragic death of our teammate Michael Mon, who had served with the Geoenvironmental Section. And now that's pretty much it for the story, but I wanted to talk about Justin a bit more because there's so much more to dive into. On top of him just being a crazy, deranged extremist, the dude made music and even wrote a book. This is one of his songs here. I just want to play it for you real quick because someone re-uploaded it from Spotify before I'm presuming it's going to be taken down now because all of his stuff is getting taken down. The books, his YouTube channel, all that. But the music pretty much explains, you know, how crazy this guy is.
Is he white trash? No. Is he a wasp? No. Is he a racist? No. What is he?
What is he?
He's a wonky honky.
Yeah.
A wonky honky. A wonky honky. A wonky honky.
Yeah, so that's one of his songs called Wonky Honky. Yeah. So yeah. No, I'm speechless. No, I'm just speechless. But on top of that, like I said, he also was an author. He wrote a book called The Revolution Leader's Survival Guide: How Schools, Workplaces, and Social Norms Kill the Genius Inside All of Us by Justin Mon. And naturally, it has since been taken off of Amazon for obvious reasons. And inside this book, it says it contains the transcript of a letter that was written to then President Donald Trump, warning him of, quote, a peaceful revolution helped led by the author if positive change does not come to America and the world soon. So clearly this guy had his head screwed on backwards at the human making facility or something. But on top of all that, there is also another little interesting thing we can dive into for a second, where Justin has filed at least 3 lawsuits against federal agencies, which include the U.S. government, claiming that they negligently caused him to take out student loans between 2010 and his graduation from Pennsylvania State University in 2014. And these are the court filings for it. Mon v. the United States. And it says he ended up paying a $2,000 filing fee after the claims were dismissed, and he sought to have the judge recused from the case because of what he claimed was a personal bias and conflicting personal interest. And then they got a legal opinion on the case, and the judge called the accusations, quote, entirely speculative and without factual basis, and that his complaints were, quote, inaccurate allegations of a disappointed college graduate. But I guess this dude just loves suing people. You know, the true American dream. It's what we love to do in America. Something bad happens, sue him. So he also sued his former employer, which was Progressive Insurance, in 2020, alleging that he had wrongful termination and sex discrimination against men. It says he was hired back in October of 2016 and fired in August of 2017 after he kicked open the facility's doors. And much like the first case, it was pretty much open and shut. Nothing happened with it. Because Mon failed to establish a case of discrimination. And in these court filings, we also found out that his parents were giving him about $540 a month shortly before Progressive fired him, and then that whole court case happened. It says he took a trip to Vegas to see if he could pursue a music career, which, from what we heard a second ago, I think he could have had a shot.
Is he a racist?
And one of the most non-shocking revelations from this series of events, when he started going willy-nilly and suing everybody, he represented himself in every single one of these lawsuits. Which, pretty much, right there, that shows you how crazy the guy is. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this whole situation. I just wanted to talk about this dude because I kept seeing the headline pop up day after day saying that a dude killed his dad and decapitated him and then showed off his head in a deranged YouTube video, the yappings of a lunatic. So I had to look into it and see what it was all about, and it's a damn interesting situation, albeit a very sad one also. And it's definitely got to be the most batshit insane YouTube intro you'll ever see. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.